G'day punters, Moulis here from the Softail stable. Just about to take this bad boy out for a quick run, check out the new helmet cam setup and have a bit of a bitch about the things that I don't like that people put on Softails or cruisers or lower rubbers or breakouts. Hope you enjoy the video. Like and subscribe if you do. Add your comments and your criticisms below, and yeah, roll the intro. Here we go. Just a quick little rip to test out my helmet cam setup. See if you can actually hear anything. Good day for a ride. So yeah, I'm Moulis, welcome to the channel, the Softail stable. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you a lot of videos, reviews, vlogs, test rides, installs, that sort of thing. But today I'm going for a little ride, just merely to test out this helmet cam and see, because see if I can test out this helmet cam and hopefully it comes across and the audio is okay. So yeah, the other purpose of the ride today is to do a video, my first video, and it's probably going to be a little bit controversial, but I don't really care. It's going to be the top 10 things, or the top 10 modifications that the people do to Softails that I don't really like. So I'll probably start with the first one that I don't really like on Softails. Being the owner of a few Softails, I've got a 2018 breakout. And this bike I'm currently on now, which is a 2021 lowrider S. And what I see a lot of people doing to especially lowriders, because they're that California club style bike, they seem to always put bags on them. And the number one thing that I really don't like on these bikes especially are bags, or panniers, or gear sacks, or anything else like that. But I can understand it if you're riding a big touring bike and that's your thing. But for me, and like I said, these are my opinions, it's just what I like. So yeah, saddlebags are for horses, that's what I think anyway. Yeah, so number 2, fairings. And I know, again, Jesus, look out mate, a lot of guys in the States and in Australia and all over the world like fairings on them. I see, I don't want to name any brands, but there's a popular one out there that a lot of people seem to be putting on. And yeah, I'm not a fan of fairings. I don't know why. I like again, I like them on touring bikes, but for me cruisers are more like, what would you call them, little bar rippers. Get on them and do this. So yeah, fairings I don't mind being in the breeze, so bearings are out for me.
Number 3, crash bars. I don't want to name brands again, but yeah, I don't like crash bars. No particular reason, I just think things will... I can understand why people have got them for highway pegs. This bike that I'm riding now has got mid controls. I'm used to forward controls on my breakout, but yeah, I'm not a fan of them. Especially the ones I use as just purely crash guards, but yeah, not a fan of those either. The other thing I'm not a fan of, oh god, there's a lot of things. I don't like stereos. I don't like stereos and speakers and things like that, you know. All those things to me are like for touring bikes, and you know, I'm not into touring bikes, so I'm into these sort of, I think they call them more bar hoppers than anything else, but yeah, no, I'd rather hear the sound of the bike than be trying to listen to music. I don't even have a Bluetooth in my helmet when I'm riding along. I love to hear the sound of the bike. Which brings me on to the next, I don't know what I'm up to, number 3 or number 4. Number 4, slip-on mufflers. If you're going to get a muffler, get a proper exhaust. And I know that, you know, again in the States, there's you've got serious EPA laws, and you can only really put, you know, slip-on mufflers on, but I don't like them. Personal thing. Yeah, what else? Oh, sissy bars. Sissy bars. I can understand if you've got a pillion passenger, and yeah, if you've got a, you know, using it for a backrest or anything like that. Again, personal choice. I just don't like sissy bars. And I know a lot of people, they're very, very popular all around the world, but I don't like them. They're not for me. Yeah, so that's another thing. I'll ride along and have a think about the next few things, but yeah, I'm I've only had this low rider rest for about just under a year. And coming from a breakout stage for 117 onto this custom built low rider rest with a SE 131 kit in it, and a whole other paperwork that got done by Tommy Miller up at Darlingham's Harley-Davidson. Shout out to Tommy, the bike's going good, mate. Yeah, I'm getting a bit lost here. Yeah, no, it's a great bike. I really obviously can't go ripping around as fast as I want, especially on a service road like this, but yeah, I've done a few mods to this bike, like superficial aesthetic looking things. Tommy did the build, he did the Screamer stage 4 131 and put a different cam in it, put a Cyclerama cam in it, and a 520 cam or 540 cam, I think it is. It's either a 540 or a 520, but it's a big lumpy cam. And yeah, it's got other bits and pieces, some solid bits in the motor to keep it all together, and heavy brake, you know, all the good fruit. It's cranking out 150 plus horsepower and close to 150 foot-pounds of torque. I'd like to see what it would go down the quarter mile in, but once again, I'm not a drag racing specialist. I wouldn't mind if Tommy got on it and took it down there, so maybe we could plan that in the future. But I'm going to have to do a U-turn and go find somewhere where I can open this thing up a little bit. But yeah, getting back to the top 10 things that I don't really like. So what have I covered? Bags, fairings. Oh, I don't like tool bags. Tool bags or like anything, speakers like that, tool bag. Anyway, I'll come up with the top 10, but I'm going to put a list out. And, you know, write in the comments below whether you agree or disagree. Not that it really matters to me. Yeah. Riding around here in sunny Queensland, the wind's probably howling through. That's why I want to put it down again and see if that makes any difference. I don't know where I'm going here. What else don't I like? There's got to be other things. What do I like? Oh, floorboards. Number 6 or number 5 or whatever it is. Floorboards instead of pegs. Another thing that belongs on a touring bike, not a cruiser, in my humble opinion. Yeah. Oh, I know what else. Number 7. Those bark busters or hand protectors, or hand grip protectors, or whatever they are. Yeah, not a fan of those. I'm not a fan of hand grip warmers, but that's usually, you can't really see that, so I can't really crucify that too much. But yeah, anything like that to me, those belong on a dirt bike. I don't like the look of them. I know there's plenty of people that do, but I don't. I've got no idea where I am. I know I'm in Munrooben. I wonder if I can get back to the highway this way. This thing flies. Probably should take it a little bit easier around there. They've had a fair bit of rain around Brisbane and the surrounding southwest Queensland and northern New South Wales, so the roads probably aren't in the best condition. So, you see they've done a bit of work out here already, so I don't really know this road, so I probably should take it easier a bit. Yeah, okay. So I've been meaning to get this YouTube channel going for about, well, I've had a YouTube channel, but I got my breakout in 2018. I wanted to do a bike vlog, and being in Australia, there wasn't too many people that were doing Australian ones, or if there was, I couldn't find them on YouTube anyway, so yeah, I thought I'd give it a crack. I've got all the gear. I've got GoPros and drones and good cameras and vlogging cameras and gimbals, and got a good computer. And it's just, when people say that they spend so much time putting a video out to not get any views, I know exactly what they're saying. I've spent hours, editing videos that I've shot. And the other thing is coming up with a storyline, and I don't want to go out there and do the same thing that people are doing. Like, I don't want to go and review bikes. Geez, that's a nice old Queenslander. Yeah, I like going rides with my mates and things like that, but it's, you know, when it comes to flying a drone and riding a bike and you know, like I say, you've got to have some kind of storyline, and you know, it sort of does it annoys me a little bit. There's a few vlogs of people doing exactly what I'm doing, just you know, riding around, rambling on and giving their opinion, which is, you know, a lot of people like that. But it's one of the things that gives me the shits quite often because, you know, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I think I know where I am now, so I haven't been out this far for a while. I've got to fly back to work to Western Australia tomorrow, and we've had no good weather. I've been home for nearly 2 months and had the absolute shittest weather. You know, not good for riding. I'm a fair weather rider anyway, but yeah, I know a lot of people that don't mind what weather they're riding in, but I don't have any wet weather riding. You're like riding around in a t-shirt and jeans. This truck stinks. I don't know what he's been digging up, but I'm going to go around him as soon as I get a chance. So it'd be interesting to hear the audio of this. I had this helmet cam set up for a while, but I've never actually done anything with it, so being a mouth breather and a smoker, probably sounds like I'm about to die, which I probably am, so I've got to do my best to get off the cigarettes. But in saying that, probably head straight to the servo and buy a packet. Getting back to the top, I was up to 6 or 7, or anyway, we might not even make it a top 10. I just make it a heap of shit that I don't like people do to their bikes. Or I probably should even change the title to stuff that I wouldn't do to my lowrider or breakout. I've already rattled off a heap of things, but surely there'll be something else that comes up that I'll think of a bit later on. But the main purpose of this little ride is to go out for a ride and see how the microphone's going on this helmet cam. Got it sort of tucked into my cheek. Had it right in front of my mouth. All you do is me breathing and snorting and wheezing. Carrying on. This truck. If only you could smell it. So a little bit about that. I'm fairly happy with this this low rider. Like I said, I haven't really got out for many rides. I think it's got about 1600 k's overdue for its first service, but I'm going to go and take it back up to Tommy at Darlington's Harley-Davidson and get Tommy to give it a service. And he built the engine, he knows what he's looking for. It's a fairly high performance engine. And sort of take it up with him. I might even talk to the guys up there and see if I could take a few of the newer bikes, the 2022 models, for a test ride, and give you my thoughts and opinions on those. I don't really. I've ridden a couple of Road Kings, and I've ridden a couple of real nice big bikes that friends have had, and you know, if you're going on long haul rides, definitely be something for the comfort level. I don't have for the wind bar thing, but like I say, I only live in Brisbane, and I'm into these bar hopper Softail. Give them a quick strap. sort of thing, so I don't know what's going on up there. There's traffic's around. Oh, it's police, is it? What are they doing? Bit dodge. I want to open it right up. Not a bad bit of gear this. I've lined it up against my 179 breakout and this thing absolutely leaves it for dead. Before that, the breakout that I used to ride for my other bike, which I still love, and my missus' favourite. She's always, she doesn't have much love for this, and it's a good thing too, because this thing doesn't have a billion pegs on it, so she's a one person bike, this bike. Yeah, plenty of horsepower and plenty of torque. A little bit disappointed when I got the stage 4 117 in my breakout years ago. I'd only had 6,000 k's on it when I got it. I bought it with a stage 1, so it had a heavy breather and a tuner and a set of vents, and it still does it. I have all that. Well, it came with a stage 1 and with a stage 4. I don't know what I was expecting, but for the price that I paid, and I'm not knocking the price because that's what they go for. The price that I got it done for, you know, in hindsight, I should have just got a stage 2 with a cam, and I think it's all about the cam. And if you look at the numbers, you know, you're never going to get them with a 2 and a 2, and that's got a Vance and Irons big radius on it, so yeah, really, I'm never going to sell that breakout. I love it. I own it outright. I paid it off. And I think if anything, I'll pull the 179 off it and give it to Tommy to put a. We've already talked about putting a 128 stump puller APE off a performance engine motor in it, and that kind of upgrade. And so when I am out riding with my mates and I'm on this or they're on that, or vice versa, we can at least keep up with each other when we give it a strap. So yes. Back to work tomorrow. Been off work. For those of you that don't know, Western Australia over the last 2 years has become a country of its own, and it's been that hard to get in and out of. I do FIFO work, so that's fly in, fly out work. So had the last basically year and a half, because I live in Queensland and work in Western Australia, quite often I haven't even been able to come home on my R&R breaks. I've had to stay in Western Australia for border closure reasons. If I came home, well, there's been a lockdown a few times last year and the year before. I wasn't able to come home, or there was border restrictions, so you had to quarantine. And yeah, so I got stuck in Western Australia a few times, and then when I did come home, I got stuck in Queensland a few times, and got to the point where there was just no point coming home, or you couldn't work. And mate, you know, the WA Premier's not the most popular man. I mean, he might be popular in Western Australia, but he's not really popular amongst the rest of Australia. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm back to work tomorrow. I had a bit of bad luck earlier in the year. My father passed away. It wasn't really unexpected. He'd been crook for a real while. I thought he might last a little bit longer, God love him, but yeah, he passed away, so I came back to go to his funeral and got stuck. It meant I couldn't return to Western Australia, but McGowan's just opened up the borders again, so I went in there to buy. Might go for a ride out, see a mate this afternoon and complete this video. I might have a little list sitting there, sticky tape behind my handlebar, so I can read what I'm so I can read all the things that I dislike. Sounds like it's going to be a bit of a bitch video, so I might have to... who cares? You cannot open this motorbike around town. On a highway, it just wants to go. It's such a fun bike to ride. Being used to a breakout, which is also a great bike, but they don't really corner that well. They go great in a straight line, but I still love it. But this thing, nimble wise, not that I'm that much of an aggressive rider, but when I played the other bike off, I thought to myself, these lowriders came out, and as always, as soon as you get an upgrade, a better upgrade comes out, whether it be motorbikes or phones or anything in life. But yeah, cheers mate. Yeah, as soon as I got the 117, they announced the 131s. Fuck, that stinks. He's probably going to follow me all the way home too. Well, I'm following him home. Let me just pull up here for the rigs. Yeah, so they announced the 131 Screaming Eagle, but originally you couldn't get them for a Softail platform. They only came for the touring platform. And then yeah, the Tommy Miller I started seeing Tommy's videos on YouTube and got in contact with him on YouTube and sent a few messages back and forth, and then all of a sudden they were available for the 131 builds. They were available for a Softail, so. And then the Midnight Crimson lowrider came out, and I thought, bugger it, I'll buy it. Anyway, back to you soon.